Welcome to Angry Appliance Repair Person. For the record, you're looking at them. Now this presentation is going to be a general one that you'll find on our website under the general word in case you ever want to refer to it again. This is going to be about user manuals. Lots of times when I was doing service in my 30 plus years, lots of people back in the 80s, they would say, wow, this manual is pretty good. Once I finally get them to read it, which I realized was never easy, even back then it wasn't easy to get people to read a book. But now, today, when people say that they got out the manual and there's nothing in it, regretfully they're right. This is something that doesn't sit very well with me, and as the smartest man in the house always points out, I have to make sure I do not lose my temper, start to stammer around and make things difficult. So I say this as calmly as I can. The manuals that they send out today really don't have a lot of information. I have been wrong on many occasions where I've said, well, let's look at your manual. Can I have your manual, please? And we'll go through it together and see why your range doesn't bake right, or why you think the temperature is off, or how I should load my washer. And I realize it's not there. All the stuff that we have been trained in service schools over the years on how to do the basic things, those basic things used to be in that manual, and regretfully they're not anymore. And it really doesn't matter what brand it is. So the made-up brand that we use on these presentations, it could even be the Abracadabra brand, and the manual doesn't really tell you anything. It might tell you how to turn on a burner if it's a range, may have to tell you how to push the start button if it's a washing machine, or it might tell you a couple little noises that it might make if it's a refrigerator, but it doesn't go into the details like it used to. And one of the big things that is missing is troubleshooting. With these days, with people being able to go on the websites and online and Google, did I say that right, smartest man in the house, Google? Yeah, okay. You Google something, you can actually Google what's wrong with the problem, and you'll find, just like what we're doing, you'll find lots and lots of people to tell you what they think it is. So, because of this, the manuals have gotten smaller. And you can, for the record, for people that are more computer people, which I am not, they can go online and they can download PDF. People don't follow is probably what I think it means, because I have a hard time following them when I read them online, but I'm sure it means something else. I think it means people don't follow. So, but nowadays you have to download it onto the computer or your phone to be able to get the full manual. You only have this little tiny, even if it's a book, it might even just be a sheet of paper. And nowadays, there's not a lot in there. The troubleshooting guide has been eliminated in a lot of them because the example, our made-up brand Abracadabra does not want you to hurt yourself. They don't want you to hurt yourself while you're working on it and then possibly get angry at the company. So a lot of the troubleshooting tips aren't there anymore, but there is stuff you can find on the website. I will say one advantage to having the manual online is the engineers and the people who make the appliances, if they want to make a change, they don't have to make a change in paper. They can make a change on their website. So when you download the manual, I'll make this up. If it's an Abracadabra brand, and in 2017, the Abracadabra brand on their washing machine had an extra rinse. Now in 2019, the government doesn't like extra rinses. So it may have eliminated the extra rinse. So instead of having to spend all that money changing all that paper, they could just put it on the website and say, oh, I'm sorry. In 2017, yeah, it might have been there, but no longer. In 2019, it's not there. So that is a more advantage. But the disadvantage, people like me, born in the 60s, don't like computers at all. You basically have to figure out how to maneuver on that website so you can read and find that specific item you're looking for. And I have looked at a few of them myself. They are getting easier to use, I admit that. But I do miss the paper. I like it when you buy a brand new something, you have the book in your hand, and you are able to look and see how to turn it on, what are the noises supposed to be, how should I load it, how long should this be, how long should the drain hose be. All of that is nice. But the manuals don't really do that anymore. Nowadays, they want it online and they are eliminating it. I've also heard from various trainers over the years that they are going to soon eliminate most paper manuals and only have a sheet that says, "Thank you for buying Abracadabra Appliance. Please visit our website, www.abracadabrareallycaresaboutYou.com, and you will find the manual there." It is coming. Whether we like it or not, that is the way things are getting. So keep in mind, if you don't find what you want in the book, go to the website and hopefully you can maneuver it and find one of those people don't follow PDF things that hopefully will help you. That's about the best I can say coming from an old man. So, smartest man in the house decided to put these two together, so if this doesn't flow very well, you can blame him. For the senile thought each week, another things about the manuals are the appliances these days that will accept your vocal command. I have seen numerous appliances. I even saw a gas grill that you can talk to and it talks back to you. They do exist. So, nowadays, a lot of these appliances, especially on TV, on the advertising, they tell you that you can give it a vocal command and it will accept that command. And that is true to a point. Safety has to come first. So, if you want to tell your oven to turn on at 350 degrees preheat, there are things you need to do to that oven to be able to make that happen. You can't just sitting on your sofa and the oven is off and say, "Hey, abracadabra oven, turn on to 350. That's probably not going to work. There are buttons you have to set. There are things that have to be done to the oven to be able to get it to turn on. Keep that in mind. Even though there is a vocal command system in the unit that it will hear you and it will turn on. Yes, hooked up to your internet and of course all of the Wi-Fi stuff, which I'm a little confused on that, but all the Wi-Fi stuff that you can do with it, yes, it is possible. In the generation that I come from, we think it's ridiculous. Why can't you get off your butt, walk over and turn the oven on? And in the past, I used to think that yes, why would that even matter? But the more that in the last 5-6 years, the more that I have gone into people's homes, and the more I have talked to younger generation parents, believe it or not, they really depend on that. And that is something that is a selling feature that is helping companies like our made-up Abracadabra company sell appliances, because the younger generation wants this. Now, the nice thing is, of course, you don't have to use it. You might have it, it might be there, but if you don't want to use it, don't turn it on. That's fine. You don't have to have it. But for the people that utilize it and want to use it, it's there. And I got to admit, there are a lot of the younger people that depend on it. It is a part of their daily routine. And without that vocal command to turn on their oven or lots of other things that these appliances can do when you talk to it, you know, we used to, in my day and age, we used to think someone walking down the street talking to themselves was a little crazy. Nowadays, you can't assume that. They might have that little thing in their ear and they're talking on the phone, but yet they're yelling and walking and, you know, if they talk with their hands like I do, they're making all these gestures, but yet you just got to think they're not crazy and you should call the loony bin. No, they are talking on the phone. This is kind of the same thing. And even though you can easily use your appliance without that feature, you'd be surprised how many people I've gone out to their house and they say, "Oh, I can't use it. I tell it to turn on, it doesn't turn on, it's broken, I need it fixed." So just like I can't find the remote. Where's the remote? I can't turn on my TV without the remote. It's kind of the same thing. So in a good way, it is selling appliances. People are looking for it as a feature. It is something that the companies can put into their products to get people to buy them. Just remember, you don't have to use it, but if you do buy it for that specific reason, make sure you do your research, because the vocal command things of turning things on, turning things off, stuff like that, there are other things that you as the consumer have to do to that appliance to get that appliance to accept that command. So, as always, we thank you for spending some of your day with us.